You and Hunter? I'm guessing that's over.
What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift.
Oh, good. I was waiting for this one to be all my fault.
After Taylor Swift called out Netflix's Ginny and Georgia, Joe Alwyn and more celebs are showing their support. Hey guys, welcome to another shared news from home. Swifties, we have got to talk about this latest news. But before we get started, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms. Avery, this has been such a roller coaster. You guys, if you are just catching up on the controversy, Taylor called out Netflix and their show Ginny and Georgia for an offensive line from one of their episodes. The line was, quote, "What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift." It led to Respect Taylor Swift trending on Twitter and Taylor herself tweeting, "Hey, Ginny and Georgia, 2010 called and it wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defining this horse as funny?" She also said, "Netflix, after Miss Americana, this outfit doesn't look cute on you. Happy Women's History Month, I guess." So quite the call out from Taylor. I mean, she has not been shying away from any issues like this of late. What are your thoughts on the line, her response, all of the reactions? I mean, I was pretty surprised that Netflix would put that in, all things considered.
Yes, the line was just a low blow, especially at this day and age. That's why I love Taylor's response. I give it a 10 out of 10 because she said 2010 called, they want this back. Because I thought as a society, we were kind of like done with this and like better than that. And given this is more of a current show, I was kind of shocked by that. And Taylor Swift has basically just gotten dragged for dating her whole entire career. And it's kind of ironic because that's what made her career so great, partially just because it made for so many good hits, so many good albums. And like, that's why I loved listening to her as a teen girl because she was expressing all these things and just, it was relatable. And that was the life I wanted to live, the dating life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally normal. As a 20-year-old girl, you go around and date. And I'm just so tired of her always getting dragged for literally just dating as she should.
Yeah, it truly, I mean, it's absolutely crazy if you think about like her journey to get to where she is. And I love that she is not taking any more of this nonsense because, like you said, she shouldn't. At this time, Netflix and the show have not publicly responded at all. They've just stayed completely silent. But since Taylor tweeted, she has received a lot of support from fans and fellow celebs. We know, of course, that Joe and Taylor keep their relationship super private, but he actually took to Twitter for the first time in 2021 at all to like her tweet, which, is kind of nothing. But in Taylor and Joe land, that's something. That's publicly, showing his support. We don't get a lot from them online, so definitely noticed that. Jamila Jamil retweeted her message and added love. Her friend Todrick Hall tweeted, quote, "Taylor has bigger balls than any man I've ever dated. Let's make holding people, writers, networks accountable for treating humans like humans and not allowing them to use someone's personal life as the butt of the joke." And Olympian Abby Wambach wrote, "She said it," along with clapping emojis. So you guys, this is just a handful of some of the tweets that have been thrown out there. But what do we make of, celebrities coming forward and showing their support? And, of course, Joe taking that step to publicly comment in his own subtle way.
I love to see everyone coming forward and giving Taylor the support because she deserves it. And it's not even just this situation. There was the whole Scooter Braun dilemma a couple months ago. She always has these horrible things happen to her and she's always so strong and takes to Twitter or something, is just so confident and handles every situation so well. I'm so glad she has support in something like this because this is just another unnecessary dib at her. She literally did nothing and now they're trying to insult her, which is ridiculous, but she already always looks like the better person. As we can see with this tweet and everyone else supporting her. So at the end of the day, whoever wrote the line and basically the show kind of looks dumb for saying it because, I feel like majority of us are Team Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the fact that like she basically said it was lazy writing because there was a time when people were making jokes like this left and right, and that doesn't make it right, that doesn't make it okay. But it just feels dated at this point, right? She's grown up, she's in a relationship. Like, we're not talking about this anymore. People have moved on from making these kinds of jokes. So I think we should, call this out as just bad content, aside from the fact that it was totally offensive and not cool. Netflix can do better than this. So why even go there? Taylor has, of course, addressed this type of scrutiny that her love life has faced many times over the years, sometimes more subtly, sometimes like this, calling it out directly. She told Esquire in a previous interview, quote, I would date someone, figure out we weren't compatible, or figure we didn't work out, and then we'd break up. That seems like a very normal thing for a young 20-something to do, and that is my biggest scandal. I think if we look back on the treatment she received, how many comments like the line in the show she's, endured or laughed off over the years, it's pretty shocking. And I know that it is in no way the same thing or the same lens, but I just watched that crazy Britney Spears documentary, and the things that went on in her life when she was coming up and growing up, that we were just like, yeah, that's what it takes to be a celebrity. I mean, more and more we're looking at women. Paris Hilton is calling out an old David Letterman interview. Come forward and just not stand for this kind of treatment anymore, which I think is great. And, a true testament to some of the progress we're all making.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. We've made so much progress. The line basically seems outdated, like you said, especially since, she is matured, she's dating, we don't even hear about it anymore, And it's just sad to see, like you said, Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, all these stars, the way they're portrayed is just for what? Because these are all hardworking women. We know what like a hoe looks like, and that's not Taylor Swift. She's actually really smart for dating a lot of people, so she ends up with the right one at the end. So none of these women deserve it. It's so unfair. It's ridiculous. And I think this was just basically a low blow to have this line in the show. And come on, get with the times. Think of someone more relevant that maybe can actually like work with this line. I feel like Taylor Swift, it just doesn't work anymore. It didn't to begin with, but especially not now.
No, I'm totally with you. All things considered, right? I mean, the times that we're living in, the fact that this was sort of a cheap shot, weak writing, whatever you want to call it. Should Netflix say something? At the very least, do they need to say like, hey, we messed up? Should the show be saying something as well? I mean, what do you think Netflix needs to do to address this? Because they did have a working relationship with Taylor Swift, and you'd think they'd want to keep that going forward.
Yeah, that being said, I think they should, but at the same time, they have so many shows and movies out on there that have a lot of things in there that are even worse than this statement right here, and they're not going to go on and publicly apologize about each and every one of those. But given they do have a really personal relationship with Taylor Swift, maybe, I don't know. I feel like the way she handled it right here was just enough. Like, Netflix can come and say something, but at the end of the day, like, she's still the queen standing, and they just kind of look dumb. But, it is what it is. The show's already out. We already heard the line. So it's all about how she handles it and how the fans react and how the people support her, which I thought was all in not great fun, but, she said it how it was. And now they kind of are just standing there like, oh, oops, we shouldn't have done that. And maybe we'll think about our writing a little more next time. Maybe we'll think about what's more with the times, not so outdated. Like, they probably thought they were really doing something with that line, but it was just weak.
Yeah, it did not work. And I think that, let this be a lesson to any future Netflix or any other TV show, movie, etc., that's going to make fun about something that, first of all, is sort of silly to even be talking about in general. I mean, if we really think about the lens of this obsession with Taylor Swift's dating life, we can all move on from it. And just know that if you're going to make a choice to go there to try to make that funny right now in 2021, you're going to get called out for it. And Swifties are certainly not going to stand for it. All right, you guys, on that note, we want to know what you made of the line in the show and, of course, Taylor's response and all of the support she's been receiving. So let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so we can keep you updated on all the latest stories. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.